the training of children to pay living expenses versus building a new construct that does not enable others to exploit your sons and daughters. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, the experts claim that this millennial mother is on to the right track by charging her sons, her 6 year old sons, money in order for them to pay their rent. And here's the thing, money was a great idea, but I think that it has gotten out of hand, like most everything gets out of hand around in this world because nobody wants to seriously look at things realistically. What is money made out of? It's made out of paper. What how do you get paper? It's made out of trees and cotton, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but nonetheless, you should know that trees filter the air, at least so they say, and I can believe that. Also, if you look at the center of a tree, if you were to chop it down, you'll see something that looks a lot like our fingerprints. So therefore, if it's your fingerprints, I think the money was more so a fascinating idea, but if I'm not mistaken, money was introduced. The introduction of the concept of money came on the behalf of Democratic Party. Now, the Democratic Party, they almost had the right idea. Okay, so basically, Democrat Party is the party that loves slaves, but they pretend like they don't. They love slaves, and all in all, who was who was it that was trying to basically stop slavery? Oh yeah, that's right. It's called the Republican Party, right? And Republicans are always blamed for being white nationalists and very much they're accused for many things. The Republicans are accused for their right thinking. They had the right idea, but they missed a couple things as well. What did the Republicans miss? The Republicans missed the point of um, they miss the point because they always take things too far in regards to sticking to your own. It's stupid. Both parties get this part messed up. The Democrats get on my nerves because they're okay with sympathizing those who are oppressors while being oppressors. The Republicans get on my nerves because they oppress on the behalf of basically going, well, I'm willing to do crime under an ethical approach, but nonetheless it's crime. What do I mean? Republican will go see an escort who he really likes. He really likes fucking her anyways. And he'll pay money and they'll call that a good thing. They'll say we should legalize this. Perfectly okay. Instead of just having a wife and talking to his wife and going, you know, I'm willing to allow you to see other men if you'll let me see these women without, killing them, murdering them. He doesn't have enough balls to do something like that. The Democrats, both sides believe a false narrative. The narrative being that minority women belong to minority males. And it's disgusting because everybody comes from minority women. But nobody wants to admit this. We're okay with misusing and abusing mom, right? In either event, it's wrong in general for anyone to be enslaving anyone just because they feel like it. And that's what this whole thing about slavery, what they got wrong, okay? So then, enabling rape, Democratic and Republican, enabling their enablers of rapists. Both sides of the aisle are enablers of rapists, as well as a lot of them are perpetuators of rape. The Democrat Party, oftentimes, they will have the idea. They have the ideology of being able to basically exploit and justify their exploitation of women and of minority women especially, because we're supposed to work in the workforce. In the workforce, this is deemed by the experts the teaching your sons how to be slaves, whereas it's his face on the money if you're not knowing that. It's a representation of him, and he's enslaved to his own concepts as well. Why this is wrong, why this construct is wrong, because it enables people to take advantage of others rather than being self-sufficient. Mothers are no longer able to just be of service to their family unit. Stripped away from us has been our right to have our own food and agriculture. What's stopping us from doing this? People who depend on this system to run the way that it is. They're okay with us being slaves for them, but never enslaved to ourselves and our own well-being, which is pathetic, because then it opens up the door for things like prostitution, things like no creativity, things like sexual assault, grooming, abuse, medical health industry, whereas that's medical malpractice going on, because then they can charge the taxpayers to pay for these other ones' health insurance, you know. And then basically, whereas the weaker sex, which is the woman, the weaker sex is then expected to be exploited on the basis of her skin color, ethnicity, yep, and subjected to rape, because we have to keep up these racial groups. And you see the problem there? And what has happened in all of this? Basically, daddy has become enslaved, whether he wants to admit it or not. I guess he's a workaholic, so he likes it. The thing is that I could have picked my own damn cotton, and I didn't need $1. I could have fucked my own husband, and I didn't need $1. As a matter of fact, I would have been more than happy to have learned how electricity works. But because we're dumbed down on purpose, we're not entitled to really think unless we're willing to pay, and unless you're willing to sell your soul, basically, whatever that means, that's the only way. And even if you do get married to this rich white man, that doesn't guarantee anything. He could be ugly as fucking shit and just be annoying as all hell, beat your ass, and what is anyone going to do about it? Nobody's going to protect you from it, not even the fucking cops, because they're all fucking just, everybody's fucked up. Everybody is. Because of this. Because of this big lie. Nothing but lies. Whereas people wanted to use the excuse, the psychological trick in which has pitted women against men, or, you know, brown against white. And in some instances, it is okay to be racist, considering that certain groups are not entitled to be seen as equals on the basis of the male, because this is a male construct. This is not, but it's led and it's been introduced by females giving the information to their husbands, and then the husbands abiding by it and implementing it. That's why some very wise man had said, if you know how to suck a dick, you can run the world. A very wise man told me that. If you know how to suck a dick, you can run the world. Well, that would explain why certain people got recognition in this world, whereas men are not obligated, especially if he's heterosexual, to take care of those who are interested in the same-sex relationships. As nature says, this is against the law. According to nature, how you're able to reproduce a human being is a vagina and a penis. And you need both in order to reproduce a child. Nature also says that Africa is probably the one who made the first violation, if you want to get very technical. That continent had the first violation. Why? Why do we say this? Because, interestingly enough, you call the lion pride a pride. And what is it that God hates? is pride and arrogance. Yeah, saying you're being proud and you're being arrogant. And guess what? While accusing the women of being proud and arrogant, who's the one who gets the food in Africa according to the lion pride? Who gets the food? Who does the hunting? Who's the one who gets to have the long hair? Who's the one who murders all the children because he's jealous and envious of another man? That would be Mr. Lion. And he's a worthless father, I tell you. That lion is a worthless father, which explains a lot when you start to compare and contrast, right? That lion, Mr. Lion, the one with the mane, he is a worthless father, and even worse is he as a husband, because he's a whore, he's a cheater. He don't know how to keep his dick to himself. Then he'll murder all them kids, all because, oh, these are someone else's children. I can't handle that. All it means from nature's point of view is that y'all are out of order. Because the woman is supposed to be the one with the long, beautiful hair, not the male. Who is in order, though? The penguin and Mrs. Penguin. And they're the most mature out of everybody because they found a way to court women without having to be violent and without having to be sneaky and manipulative. And he stays with her. No, Mr. Penguin does not leave Mrs. Penguin's side. I love their relationship. I wish we were like Mr. and Mrs. Penguin, but we're not. So Mr. Penguin shows up with a rock, and the woman, she goes, if she likes it, she'll be like, all right, that's wonderful. If she don't like it, she throws that shit at him and go, bitch, get out my face, and come back with something that might actually appease me. All right, all right. And if he really wants her, he will never give up. He'll be like, okay, I brought something else. Here you go. And then when she finally accepts, that's how they have their marriage. But we're nothing like the penguins. But did you notice that they're black and white? Is that hard? Is that a hard concept for you? That they're black and white? Do you think they have turf wars and shit? Oh, no. That's a all black penguin. That's an all white penguin. No, they don't give a damn. They're all black and white. Did you know that the polar bear is black underneath his white coat? Did you know that? Of course you did. He's pretty deadly, isn't he? Anyways. So that's why you say that the Lion King was basically the king. Yeah, he ain't no damn king. He is not a damn king. They mock God as well. Your guys' pride group, your LGBTQ, whatever, you mock God. If there was a God, you mock him. If there was a God, you guys mock him by using that rainbow, because he uses the rainbow as a sign of a promise that he never gonna drown the world ever again, whatever. But what happens if that God gets fired and the new God don't have to make no promises? What happens then? Would it still be funny to mock God like that and basically have it to where his wives and his daughters are enslaved on planet Earth while his trees is ripped up to print his money, and then y'all want to play these games, having it to where the sons don't even get it. The white sons we're talking about, our golden children, right? You have it to where he can't even be a damn child. You want to charge him rent, teaching him how to be a slave to money, to his own resources. You know, the experts say that she's on to a good start and that this is wonderful and trying to, big ups him. And it's like, prior to that, we didn't have money. And if you think that it's a good idea to chop down all them trees like how y'all do for Christmas, disrespectful as all hell. That's how you celebrate, I guess. Jesus' birthday is by mocking him, having him, he's the only one who really works on Christmas as far as I'm concerned, wasting all that paper to wrap up gifts because that is your religion, is consumption and greed. You know, we can't actually celebrate Jesus because we're too busy enslaving him and telling him it's a good idea for him to be enslaved to those who ain't even his family. They certainly don't treat him like such. Holy Spirit. Yeah, he's holy all right, but he's been lied to his whole life by people who are supposed to be his people who were supposed to be trustworthy, be loyal, and to be respectful and to instill some decency. But no, everybody's okay with taking advantage of and saying, oh, well, somehow it's a good thing. He protects those. Y'all protect those who you have no business protecting. It's disrespectful, all in all. You go tell Jesus how he's not allowed to be with whoever the hell he wants to be with, and you tell him how his people are ugly and how the women that he likes are ugly because they're black or because they're whatever. You go tell Jesus that, and then tell your God that as well. Tell your God, and while you're at it, tell your God that he's fucking fired. Tell him that. And tell that lady, you're a fucking bitch. That's what you tell her. I don't like you. I don't like you at all because how you treat these children, how you treat other women, how you treat these men in this planet disgusts me. It really just, it's disgusting to me. He's not a robot. Okay, that's one. Number two, he's not entitled to be everybody's goddamn slave. He's not everyone's scapegoat. And your all asses are disrespectful. How you treat these men, you've warped their minds, apparently, because they're willing to tolerate shit that I couldn't. If I had a dick, I wouldn't tolerate none of you. Not a single one. I can understand why some people might be gay. I would not tolerate a single one of you. I've been like, ain't none of y'all about nothing. Nobody. And then that doesn't mean that the males are off the hook. Oh, they're terrible too. Making excuses as to why the hell all of this just trash goes on in this planet. Well, when we try to say we dismiss them, we didn't dismiss nobody. We didn't find any decent human beings in this planet. Furthermore, y'all asses was too busy trying to take advantage of women and girls, being whores, preying on them, and then making excuses as to why that shit was acceptable. Why it was acceptable to have criminals around anyone's child. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it right here because I'm done. I got a headache.